Guys, in this video, I'm gonna go over some crucial settings and show you some features that you should tweak and turn on to get a better experience out of your Samsung Galaxy smartphone. And for the most part, I will be demonstrating on the S23 Ultra, but as long as your phone is running at least One UI 5, you should have everything that I'm about to show you. With that said, let's start the video. Now, one feature you should absolutely enable is full screen scrolling in the gallery. We've got this feature enabled on the Note 20 Ultra and notice how cool the gallery looks. So if you want your gallery to look like this while you are scrolling, what you want to do is go to the gallery settings by tapping on these three lines and then select settings. Over here, enable full screen scrolling. So after enabling this, you will be able to scroll in full screen through your gallery. It just makes the gallery look super cool. And since we are talking about the gallery, you might want to enable the album lock feature. This is gonna give you more privacy because using this, you can lock different albums on your phone to stop your naughty friends from checking out your private photos. And before you do this, make sure that you have updated the gallery app to the latest version from the Galaxy Store. Anyways, after updating, open the gallery and then tap here on these three lines and go to settings. Now in the settings, scroll down and then tap on About Gallery. And here, repeatedly tap on the version until you see a message which says Gallery Labs enabled. Once you see this, go back and then scroll down and you will see a secret menu called Gallery Labs. And this contains new and experimental features. Now, all you have to do is enable album entry locks. And after enabling this feature, you have to reboot your phone. Because if you don't, then you're not gonna see the lock album option over here. See, it's not there. So if you don't see the option after enabling, just reboot your phone. Alright, so I've restarted the phone and now the hide album feature should start working. So all you have to do is open the gallery app and then tap on albums. Now here, long press whichever album you wanna lock. Like, let's lock the camera album. So select, tap on more and then select lock album. And you can see the album is now locked and all of the photos and videos that were inside this album will also disappear from the gallery. And to enter into the locked album, you will need to enter your phone's unlock pin or the passcode or use the biometrics, and there you go. Now to permanently unlock the album, tap on these three dots and then select Unlock Album. And now the contents of this album will be visible in the gallery. Did you guys know that you can have the phone read out the caller's name for incoming calls? Check this out.
Charlie's alternate number.
So this is quite a useful feature. You don't even have to look at the screen to know who's calling you. So let me show you how to enable this feature. Okay, so open the dialer, then tap on these three dots and then select settings. Here, tap on answering and ending calls and enable read caller names aloud. Now, by default, this is set to work only over Bluetooth and headphones. So tap here and change this to always. And now, whenever you get an incoming phone call,
Charlie's alternate number.
the phone will tell you who's calling. Okay, so whenever you make or receive a phone call, you might have noticed the boring blue background. Now recently, starting with One UI 5, Samsung has added a feature that allows you to change the background for individual contacts. So check this out. So this contact has my picture because this is my number, and this contact has a different picture because this is my alternate number. Awesome, right? So you will know exactly who's calling you. And the way this works is really simple. You will have to edit the contact for which you want to change the background image, then tap on view more and scroll down, and here you'll have the option to set a custom background for that particular contact. So to record a video, you are going to launch the camera, then change the mode from photo to video and then finally hit the record button. And during these 3 to 4 seconds, you might miss out on that special moment that you want to capture. So I would recommend adding the video mode shortcut directly to the home screen itself. Okay, so what you want to do is locate the camera icon and then long press. It's gonna show you three options. Long press the video option and drag it anywhere you like on the home screen. And that's it. Just tap on the video mode shortcut and start recording right away. See the difference? It takes less than a second to start recording. So this way you can speed up your video recording process. You can also do the same for selfies. So once again, long press on the camera icon and this time drag and drop the take selfie camera shortcut to the home screen. And as you can see, tapping this will start the front facing camera right away, which makes taking selfies a breeze. So here's a feature that will make your Samsung phone run cool and make the battery last a lot longer. So what you want to do is go to settings and then scroll down to battery and device care. Here tap on battery, scroll down and more battery settings, and here you'll find a feature called performance profile. Inside it's got two options, standard and light. The standard mode makes the phone run normally. It balances the processing speed, battery life and heat generation from the processor. Now, the light profile prioritizes battery life and it makes the phone run cool even when you've got multiple apps open. Now, of course, you do sacrifice a bit of performance, but it's really not noticeable on the S23 Ultra because of the brand new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip. So I recommend keeping the performance profile on light if you want better battery backup and less heat coming from your smartphone. Now, unfortunately, this is a fairly new feature, so not every phone is gonna have this. And since we are talking about the battery, if you want to keep the battery of your Samsung phone in good health for many years to come, you might want to cap the maximum level of charge. So what you want to do is go back to the more battery settings and here enable a feature called protect battery. So this feature limits the maximum charge level to 85% and the phone is gonna pause charging as soon as the battery level hits 85%. And the phone is gonna tell you charging paused, protect battery limits you to 85%. So the thing is, lithium batteries degrade faster when they are charged up to 100%. So by limiting the maximum charge level to 85%, you can technically help extend the lifespan of the battery for a little bit longer. And limiting the charge level is also beneficial if you leave your phone plugged in overnight because then it's gonna stop charging at 85%. So I think it is a good idea to turn this feature on, but if you want to charge your phone to 100%, say for example if you are going out and you won't have a charger with you, then hey, turn this feature off, no problem. But if you are staying at home, keeping this feature on is a good idea. Now, if you want to take a step further and get even better battery backup out of your phone, then you might want to switch the refresh rate down to 60 Hz. You can do this by going into the settings, scroll down, then display, and here tap on motion smoothness. By default, this will be set to adaptive and this is what gives you that super smooth animation and scrolling. But obviously that comes at the cost of additional battery power. So, if you find yourself charging your phone more often than usual, change this to standard. And this is gonna drop the refresh rate down to 60 Hz, which is going to give you a much longer battery life. And the Galaxy Z Flip 4 is my daily driver and I always keep the refresh rate set to standard, that is 60 Hz, because it does make quite a difference. And if you've got an older phone like the Note 20 or the S20 series, then the difference is gonna be even bigger. So it is up to you. If you don't like it, you can always switch back. Now the next thing you should do is scroll down and go to font size and style, and here switch on bold font. This will increase the thickness of the font without changing its actual size. It just makes the font a little bit more legible. Now, when you have an app open, swiping in from the top right corner of the screen activates the pop-up view mode, which is also known as the multi-window mode. So this allows you to run apps in a window, and this is great for multitasking. And if you want to make the app run full screen, swipe back to the corner of the screen. So there you go. One more gesture that you can do is swipe up with two fingers from the bottom of the screen to open the split view mode. And from this list, you can select the second app that you want to run in the split view mode. So there you go. Now these gestures are not enabled by default, so you will have to enable them by going into the settings and then advanced features. Here tap on labs and enable swipe for pop-up view and swipe for split screen. Lastly, also enable multi-window for all apps and full screen in split screen view. So you give your phone to someone maybe because they want to make a phone call or browse the web. But instead, they open your gallery and start browsing through your personal photos, and they also might open your messaging app and check out all your private chats. Well, to prevent this exact thing from happening, you can enable a feature called Pin App, which will prevent your naughty friends from accessing your gallery and any other app on your phone. So for example, your friend wants to browse the web. So before you hand over your phone to them, open the Recents menu and then tap on the app icon. From this list, select Pin this app. And this will pin the app on the screen and they will not be able to access anything else on your Galaxy smartphone. So you can see nothing happens even if I press the home or the back button. So this is a really powerful privacy feature. Now to unpin the app, press and hold the recents and the back button together. And now to access the phone, you will have to enter your biometrics. So there you go, now everything is back to normal. Now this feature is disabled by default, so you will have to enable that by going into the settings and then security and privacy. Inside, scroll down to other security settings and finally enable Pin App. I also recommend hiding the navigation bar that appears at the bottom of the screen. The advantage of this is that it gives you more screen area for your content. Look how the keyboard fits properly. So what you want to do is go to settings, then display, scroll down to navigation bar. Now inside here, change the navigation type from buttons to swipe gestures. Also, in addition to this, turn off gesture hints and show button to hide keyboard. If you don't disable show button to hide keyboard, then you will have this black bar at the bottom of the screen whenever the keyboard is open. So swipe gestures are awesome. It turns the edges of the screen into the back key, which makes it very easy to use the phone with one hand. So now swipe in from the edges to go back. Swiping up from the middle takes us to our home screen, and if you swipe up from the middle and hold, that's gonna open up recents. And doing this gesture will let you go back and forth between your recent apps. Samsung smartphones have a built-in dictionary and a word translator that you can use to find out meanings of words. You can use this feature while browsing the web. Just keep your finger on the word and then select the dictionary option, and it will show you the meaning and the translation of the selected word. You can also use this in other applications such as Samsung Notes. Once again, just long press on the word and then tap on dictionary. You can even tap to see a more detailed description. Now obviously to use the dictionary, you will have to set it up. Let me show you how it's done. Okay, so just select any text and then tap on dictionary. The phone is gonna take you to a setting which says up here on top and here, enable dictionary. So now we have to install the dictionary database. We're gonna install English. As you can see, it takes us to the Galaxy Store, so just follow the instructions and download the appropriate database. Now if you want, you can also download translations. For example, let's download the English to German translation, and that is it. Our dictionary is now ready for use. So now whenever you highlight a word and then tap on dictionary, the phone will show you what the word means and its translation to the language that you have selected. Now our home screen looks pretty crowded, lots of widgets on a single page. So to free up some space, what we can do is long press on a widget and then drag it on top of another one. And you will see both of them will combine, giving us two widgets inside of a single one. Awesome feature, right? And you can even edit the stack by long pressing and then edit stack. From here, you can remove or add more widgets to the stack. And just so you know, this only works with similar sized widgets, so you can't just drag and drop a bigger widget into a smaller one. The size has to be the same for this to work. For example, we can combine these two because they are of similar size. Sometimes you might accidentally end up moving the icons or the widgets on the home screen, especially if you've got clumsy hands like mine. This actually happens a lot to me and it is annoying. So if you want to prevent this from happening, pinch in on the home screen and go to the home screen settings and turn this feature on which says lock home screen layout, and this will lock the widgets and the icons in their place. Very useful if you have spent a lot of time creating the perfect home screen. Okay, so one of the things that I've noticed is that the screen keeps turning on by itself whenever I've got the phone in my hand. And this is super annoying because all sorts of weird stuff happens on the phone if I'm not paying attention. So if you are facing this issue, you might want to switch off double tap to wake. It's a really nice feature, but it malfunctions when you are holding the phone in your hand. So to switch off double tap to wake, go into the settings, then scroll down to advanced features and then tap on motion and gestures. Inside here, switch off double tap to turn on screen. Instead, what I would recommend is switching on lift to wake. This way the screen turns on whenever you pick your phone up and face it towards you. I know it's not 100% accurate, so if you still find that your phone wakes up in your hand, then go ahead, disable this feature. Alright, so I guess that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and if you have enjoyed, make sure to mash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you find these kind of videos informative. And I will see you guys next week. Tech Guy Charlie signing off.